Well, first story, really sad and breaking, and I would very much like Dr. Drew's insight on it next time you see him. Bruce Willis is stepping away from acting after his family says he was diagnosed with a cognitive condition called aphasia, which is pretty serious. It leaves him unable to speak or understand speech. I imagine that's where it's headed. I don't know if it's fully dealing with it yet. Yeah.
Was I just talking on this podcast about Bruce Willis doing tons and tons of straight? So it makes sense now, because I had heard someone reply. It was like, he's got some mental issues. He's trying to cash in while he can before it's too late.
Oy. Well, aphasia is the result of damage to a particular region of the brain caused by stroke or tumor or head trauma. The post from the family says, this is a really challenging time for our family. We're so appreciative of your continued love, compassion, and support. We're moving through this as a strong family unit. Wanted to bring his fans in because we know how much he means to you. As Bruce always says, live it up, and together we plan to do just that. But I don't know if aphasia, it doesn't sound fixable. That's why I would love to know what Dr. Drew has to say.
Doesn't he have one of those things where him and Demi Moore are still close
BFF.
and family and all that shit?
Yes.
Like celebrate Christmas together and stuff?
In matching pajamas.
Yeah. What is that? How's that work?
Who does that?
Who does that?
I'm not familiar with
why
that.
get divorced?
Yeah.
You both still looked good. I mean, they've been divorced for 15 years.
I guess. Well, he has a lady. She had Ashton Kutcher for a long time.
Oh, that's right.
They kind of went their separate ways, but they were still all good.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you seem to like each other's company. Mm-hmm. We're going back circa 2006. You're both good looking and fit. Where's the problemo here?
Good question.
Yeah.
Ask Rumor or Tallulah. I don't remember the Scout.
I haven't heard much complaining out of them lately.
No.
They normally would complain about things,
Remember,
right?
well, one of them, it was a big deal. Was it the Oscars or maybe the Golden Globes when whoever the tall and most statuesque one was one of the heard you off the stage girls?
Yeah, can I say this? In a town where we never stop complaining about nepotism and daddy's money and stuff, why is it a rule that all the kids of all the huge wealthy celebrities get the gig? Like, shouldn't we head into the inner city? I would have loved to be a wrangler when I was 21.
In the year of King Richard.
Yes.
Do we not draft some people who need it?
Or does it just have to be the essentially kids of royalty, like Hollywood royalty?
Well, Brian, to be fair, I don't know the names of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's kids.
Sure. No, do.
Wait, I think they're very famous.
Willow, Jaden. That's why you're honorary millennials here.
That's exactly.
There's another one, Trey Smith, who I went to high school parties with.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because he grew up out in kind of in this area.
He's the pre-Jada.
Yeah, I mean, he was just like an aspiring DJ. I was like, how are you aspiring when your dad's Will Smith? Like, you can do anything. I mean, I feel like his dad helped the other ones so much, but Trey and...
Well, there's Tom Hanks' kid.
Chet Hanks.
Chet.
Miss Chet.
He should be the mascot for the Navy SEALs.
Really?
He should be.
Oh, he should
Have you seen him? He looks like a human pit bull. He looks great.
Oh, he does. I just remember him rapping.
His head. Yeah, rapping. He's all over the place. He's great. I'd have him on the show. He would definitely bring the energy.
I took a first-class flight to New York with, I think Jaden was on there when Jaden was like 13, and I couldn't figure out if it was a he or a she or was total unisex, like clothing.
I don't know if we know now.
Kind of weird hair. Didn't... No, would being raised by Jaden Will Smith be a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, lots of opportunity.
I think they consider it a good thing.
The kids.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great.
I think they're very happy.
I'd like to talk to their... I like to be a fly on the wall in the therapist's office when they're in their 40s, so that's all I'm saying.
Well, you do have a little bit of a fool me once history when you bring your friends over to meet mom.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of a hinky situation. Remember, we talked about her, I think last year, LaTanya Young. She is the daughter of Dr. Dre, who is like allegedly living in her car.
Yeah.
So sometimes that first kid doesn't get the spoils.
Oh, Dr. Dre's kid.
Yeah.
Can I say something about LaTanya? It might be controversial.
Okay.
It's a cultural appropriation of a white woman's name. Tanya's a very...
Tanya.
Well, that's
white
a white name.
Yeah.
And you put your La in front of it. I'm sorry. That's our name. You go get your own names. That's a whitey name.
Well,
you're now appropriating.
I'm
saying the cultural appropriation, it's a two-way street. You know what I mean? White chicks aren't allowed to make tacos, and in Portland, well, then Tanya's our name.
Sure.
So how about this? Well, I bet you one of those two chicks is named Tanya. Maybe both
Made
of
the
them.
tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
Well, it's a bitch, but I'm saying this is how we end it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We go, how's
Fair
it
is
feel?
fair.
There's a little payback.
But to be fair, to play a little devil's advocate, that doesn't make lasagna a soul food item.
Good insight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No notes.
Whitest chick on the planet, Tanya Tucker.
Right.
Lasagna.
And Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding
White trash.
and Tanya Tucker are the two whitest women
Yeah.
in the United States. Is Tanya Tucker still alive?
Yeah, we say Tanya.
Oh, Tanya
Tanya.
Tucker.
Yeah,
That's
she just
how
came out
white
with a
she
new
is.
record.
That's white she's all right.
That's how white she is.
Well, that
Tanya.
proves my point.
Yeah.
I like when people say that, but it doesn't really prove their
That
point.
doesn't prevent
You're
it.
making my point now.
Trevor, you know who Tanya Tucker is?
No idea.
Oh, two sparrows and a hurricane.
Country
right?
singer.
She's
I did not buy
she's
that.
63,
Anybody
for
over
her.
47, I'm out.
She's a voice
Adam,
of
how old are you?
57.
I'm
so
out.
you're
I
out.
don't even know. Yeah, I'm out.
Tanya Harding, you're right. That's come on. That's a white. Look,
That's
it's
fair.
ours.
Hey, you're right.
I want it back.
When you're right, you're right.
All right, you need to talk to her.
Well, somebody else, I hate to emotionally pivot like this, but somebody else is canceling dates for a very good reason. Foo Fighters have confirmed that they're canceling all their tour dates this year in the wake of Taylor Hawkins' death. He's 50. You do know who he is?
Yeah, I know him.
good,
Yeah,
good.
great actor. Yeah.
Oh boy. The cancellation leaves a big hole in the schedule. Festivals, I mean, they were going to play Beale Street Music in Memphis, Jazz Fest in New Orleans, Welcome to Rockville, Daytona Beach, Boston Calling, Aftershock in Sacramento, and they had 30 other North American headlining dates that included 8 stadium shows. Obviously, they're probably an emotional wreck and now got to find a drummer.
He got sort of Farrah Fawcetted with this whole
Yes.
Chris Rock thing.
That was the news of the weekend for 24 hours.
Yeah.
48 hours.
And I feel bad because they were having to sit home with COVID, can't go out.
Yep.
You know, that's how they make their income,
That's right.
playing these huge dates everywhere. And then they got COVIDized. The world got COVIDized.
Yeah.
And now they come out of COVID and they finally get to go back out on the road. We have a 2-minute video from Ventura.
Oh, good.
Oh, let's
is that a
go.
video?
The chick. I didn't know she was inside.
I've
the
seen it
club.
before, so yeah.
Oh yeah, I recognize those lamps anywhere.
All right, Carolla.
All right, Napoleon.
Oh, Gary's taking
So make it funny, dude.
Okay. I will give you half your money back if you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we did half a show.
If I can take it, you can take it. I want to stay.
All right, everyone just relax, sit down, just relax, have a good time. You paid to be here, but so did these other people, and you're stopping them from having a good time. So just be quiet so we can all have a good time.
They have to lie to me. That's all right. Let me stay.
There we go.
Oh boy.
Now it's like a Buffalo Wild Wings in there.
That's the. I think that's the brother.
Yes.
Sorry, the boyfriend.
There's the owner, Randy Lubitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intervening.
Oh yeah, bouncer, owner, comedian. Yep.
Cheering, she's out.
Call the cops right now. Call the cops.
There we go. Honorary white
do
people.
love
Let's
it.
go.
I love it when the drunken people are going to get arrested.
You can stay. Fucking, he made a joke. That's my husband. We can stay. Fuck you. Fuck you, man. No, fuck you.
Is she Australian?
There's a part of me that likes the woman who stands up for her man.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to see what the dude looks like.
Because I'm the only nigger in there. Fuck you.
Uh-oh. That's not.
I knew they got outside.
So many phones. This is August's phone.
What is a 3-camera sitcom?
Catherine, he's not even funny.
Whoa.
So worth it, Catherine.
You got to put your tour dates on the back of this.
That would be great.
Just in case there's liability.
By the way, my batting average with telling people to calm down is zero.
Yeah.
Can we also
Women aren't fans.
When I go, just relax. Just relax. Just
You had shorts on,
It's
too,
like
with
throwing
sandals.
phosphorus into a
That's
fireplace.
true.
Like it's like I don't know what is so unrelaxing about me saying so. Just relax. We'll handle this. Like, also, who are the people that can't hear that?
Yeah. Well, that's
I'm
the
sorry,
joke.
Gina, but I think women have
That's
a
what I'm
harder
saying.
time. Like,
That's the
I've said to
joke,
women,
that you don't
okay,
tell a woman to calm
I'm
down.
just going, I will take care of this. Like, this will be taken care of. Just relax.
You gotta
And then
reword
they
it.
always come back and they go, well, then who's going to pay for that? And I go, shh, we're going to work it out. It'll be no problem. I'll handle it. And they go, well, how are you going to, it's like, it's just, if someone's telling you to relax, fucking relax.
You
for
gotta
a
do what
change.
bartender or bouncers at bars do. They're like, hey, can I talk to you outside real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That's how I used to get kicked out in college. I'd be like, oh, what?
Right.
You want to talk to me? You saw some of my vines? Okay, yeah, I'm famous. Let's do it.
Because
And
they
then-
are afraid of a physical confrontation
well,
with
they
you.
get you outside, and then you're like, yeah, what did you want to talk about? Then they slam the door on you.
Yeah.
So you look to all your other fans, like, just I'll be right back. Hey, can I talk to you outside real quick? And she's like, oh my God, VIP meet and greet. And you're like, hey, so I was thinking, boom, slam the door on her. She's out.
That's how I used to get blowjobs.
Yeah, well, you could
For all
from
this
her.
Me Too bullshit. Yeah, that was her. I forgot how weirdly aggressive and insane she was.
Yeah. And it's like I keep thinking, well, what was the joke? But I'm thinking like a sober person. There was no reason to get nutty.
It's Ventura.
Yeah.
There's always a reason to get nutty.
That's right.
There you go.
All right,
Yeah.
sorry. What else do you have, Gina?
Well, remember how hard it was to get a Paycheck Protection Program loan back in 2020? Like they kept talking about it, but nobody ever really got it, and you had to jump through all these hoops. Well, a big reason was a shit ton of that money went to fraudsters.
You're kidding.
We knew that, but let's get into some hard numbers now. Experts now say, looking back, that up to 10% of the $800 billion in the program was stolen in an effort to expedite payments.
Imagine the government. Like, first off, I don't like the government. Not because I was born with a disdain for the government. I don't think they do things that efficiently. But imagine if it was a business and you just, well, we had about $80 billion loss here.
What?
Like,
Let me explain.
there is just a way. There is a way you treat. I think the great economist Thomas Sowell basically said, like, when it's
Who are you?
when it's your money, you're the best with your money.
course.
When it's someone else's money, but you're like buying something for somebody, you can find the quote, you're not quite as good. And when it's other people's money going to other people's shit, you are the
A little
worst.
faster, a little loose.
And
yeah.
that's where the 80 billion comes in.
It's like when your boss would be like, we'll pick up the tab for lunch, and you're like, oh, we're getting everything. We're getting deep fried pickles, milkshake.
It's a quadrant thing.
Yes.
So go ahead, because this is
I can't
hard
make
to
sense
explain
of
on-
it, but it's
It's an SAT question.
Crystal.
Okay, so there are 4 quadrants. If it's one side is on whom money is spent, and the other is whose money is spent. So if it's your money, you're spending it on yourself, economize and seek highest value.
Sure.
If it's your money and you're spending on someone else, economize but don't seek highest value. If it's someone else's money being spent on yourself, you don't economize but seek highest value. And if it's someone else's money spent on someone else, you don't economize and don't seek highest value.
and that's the government.
It's like
Right.
a haiku poem right there.
Yeah.
So here's how this happened. They kind of panic fired and they wanted to get this money out as quickly. So no good deed goes unpunished. Really wanted to get it out as quickly as possible. So put in no safeguards against fraud.
Well,
And
also, everyone does this thing where it's like, well, we shut everything down. The economy came to a stop, schools and bars and stores, we shut all down because of COVID. But it's not because of COVID. It's because you overreacted and shut everything the fuck down. You never needed to do that. There was a way to approach it that didn't devastate the economy, that could have saved you and your T-shirt cannon of cash you fired into the fucking wind.
Exactly. So as a result, people simply used names of existing businesses, made up new businesses, got the loans, many of which the federal government had already forgiven. This comes on top of an estimated $90 billion. This is a pretty wide number. $90 billion to $400 billion in unemployment fraud, and another $78 billion in fraudulent economic injury disaster loans.
Yeah.
Hemorrhaging. We're giving it away.
All right. Let's get let's get a little leaner and meaner with government. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know what the end game is to another department, another group, and a bigger this and a more expansive that. First off, if something came out of the other end, that would be awesome.
Right.
Like, I was screaming out teachers union. So, I'll muff these stats. But back in the day, there was, 35 teachers for every one administrator. Now there's 18 administrators for every one. So you've just kind of for every 30 student or teachers or whatever. So you're growing this thing. And then you go, all right, it costs more money and all that stuff. But we're getting these fantastic results. If we got fantastic results, then you'd kind of go, well, all right, like, hey, we got a bullet train going from here to San Francisco. Like, it costs a lot of money, but it sure is nice on that train. Like, if something comes out the other side, then I think that's a discussion to have. But if it just kind of gets bigger,
then you get Rod Stewart filling his own potholes.
Right.
That's how I feel about taxes. If I got a text back from the IRS, be like, we received it, winky face, I'd feel better about myself. But I just send money and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you got this park bench in Sacramento. I don't know what I'm getting with my money.
And they'll let you know they got it if they decide you didn't pay enough.
That's the only time. Give me a text back. Give me a thumbs up. Something.
Yeah,
Play
like
hard
when
to
you
get. Flirt with me. Send me a dick pic. Tits. Something. Please help. IRS.
That's right.
Somebody.
Like, plant a tree for me in Israel. Let me know which one's
there
mine.
we go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Some stake in the game.
Yeah.
Let me be like, that's my star up there. It could be 45,000 people star. I don't care.
That's exactly right.
Just let me know. Deep down, I feel good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're cutting checks to Phil McCracken and Buster Hyman and all the folks that are writing in to get paid.
All the good people. Harry C. Word. Well, let's focus on somebody who took matters into their own hands.
Will Smith.
Yes. And this is a former Yale Medical School employee who pleaded guilty in federal court for stealing $40 million worth of computers and electronics to fund her lavish lifestyle. And she did this in a fairly savvy way. 42-year-old Jamie Petrone formerly worked in the school's emergency medicine department and served as the department's director of finance and administration. She used her position to run a scheme for 8 years in which she used school funds to purchase millions of dollars worth of computers and then sold them to purchase property and cars and vacations. She also falsified documents and tax returns. She pleaded guilty Monday to 1 count of wire fraud, 1 count of filing a false tax return. Her sentencing is scheduled for June 29th. I'd say she got off pretty easy.
How much? Yeah,
I respect the
40
hustle, honestly.
million. Seriously.
Yeah, that's a lot of Adderall right there to do all that.
That's fencing.
I'm at the point with crime where I've seen so much of homeless guy pushes Asian chick onto the train tracks or comes up and slams a nurse who's waiting at bus stops. I'm now at the point where if you're committing crime and you're not putting your hands on and you're not busting out Max Zapata's back window and ripping all the shit, if you're just doing it on the ledger or dealing something or selling something or defrauding the whatever, I'm kind of at the point where it's almost quaint.
This is what we've become.
I'm not going to give the keys to the city, but you're not physically putting your hands on someone on a Southwest flight. I'm now just like, you're not part of my problem anymore. You're just, the government waste $80 billion. You ripped off a bunch of money from an institution that has an endowment for $50 billion.
The bigger the company, the less I feel bad about it. If you try to steal from like Google, I'm like, good, thank God. But if you steal from like a mom and pop, you're like, that's fucked up. But if you're stealing from Amazon, good, I don't care. Amazon Prime sent you 2 things. Keep it. Fuck Amazon, right? But if it's a mom and pop, then that's like a little harm because you're like, that comes out of their wallet.
Speaking of that, I got my first wrong order from Amazon. I got this giant.
Burn it down. Let's go there.
What do I do with it? It's a giant bag of like powdered charcoal that I think like hippies used to brush their teeth with and stuff.
Oh.
Activated
Venice,
charcoal.
California. Flip that shit by the dime bag. Make a little bit of money.
It's like black soot, and it's.
Yeah, I got Chinese food the other day and it had extra Chinese food in it.
Or you ever just get the completely wrong order? One time I ordered a salad like a responsible guy, and the guy just gave me Dunkin' Donuts box, and I was like, oh no, that's not mine. He goes, well, do you want the donuts? I'm like, no, where's my food? And the guy was like, you got to just call Postmates. And then he just like, you know, when you take your foot off the brake and gas, your car just starts to coast a little bit. It was like the slowest drive off ever. I was like, I guess I'll take the donuts now.
I would look at that as a force majeure, like act of God.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to be healthy, and a guy gave you donuts.
A dozen crullers.
But it was like food for like our whole crew that we were like filming, and I walked in with like 6 donut holes. Like, hey, who wants apple fritters? I want protein, asshole.
I forgot, but a million years ago when I lived in Hollywood, there was a Chinese place up the street, and I went in there and I picked up my to-go order, and I just went and got it. And they handed me the bag. I told them my name. They handed me the bag, and I went back to my house and I opened it up, and it was not my food. And not only was it not my food, I got angry because there's something that's on every menu that I never order because it never sounds good to me, especially the Chinese food. A beef salad. It's like a salad with cold beef cut up into it. And it's like, I love beef, but you've taken 86% of the flavor out of it by making it cold. But anyway, who gets Chinese food? Then I got angry at the person whose order I stole. Like, why the fuck? If there's some Kung Pao chicken in here, I wouldn't go back down the hill. But you ordered a bunch of shit I don't want. And then I went back down the hill, and I said to the woman, hey man, you gave me the wrong bag. This is not my bag. I need another bag. My name is Adam. I should have the bag that says Adam on it. She said, you said your name was Frank. And I'm like, yeah, that's how I roll.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's what I do. You're on to me. I roll
That means
in.
somebody got your beef salad, right?
Right.
So, wow.
There's a very famous meme from The Sopranos where that happens. I don't know if I'm sure you've seen the moment, but when he gets the goddamn motherfucking orange peel beef, and it's like a 10-minute saga about you gotta check the bag when they arrive, Tony.
I had that one, and I had this old tuxedo jacket a million years ago, and there's this little tailor up the street, and I said, in the annals of things you would never do. You know, like who would go in and pick up Chinese food and use a nom de plume, to get someone else's bag and then drive up the fucking hill to find out it was gone.
Shit right there, yeah.
Yeah, I went. There's a little tailor by my apartment in North Hollywood. It's a little place right by your place.
Okay.
And
is it by the Golden Chopsticks?
It's by the Golden Chopsticks on the other side of the street,
Okay.
but it on Magnolia.
Yeah.
Right next to the barber I used to go to, who had 2 TV sets, one where the picture only worked, but the sound didn't work, and the other one, the sound worked, and they set them on top of each other.
Brilliant.
And
That's the metaverse right there.
I went in there, I dropped off a tuxedo jacket, and I said, the buttons were all busted off. I was like, so some new buttons on this thing? And he said, yeah. And then I picked it up, 4 days later. It was like in a bag or whatever, and I paid for it, and I went back and I put it in my closet. Then 6 months later, there was an event or something. I went, let's get the tuxedo on. And I pulled out, it had brass anchor buttons, like I was Thurston Howell III. This weird brass blazer, weird rich guy, brass buttons on it. I was like,
fabulous.
This is a tuxedo with big brass anchor buttons on it. So I just went back to the place and I went, hey, a few months ago I dropped this off and I didn't check, but you evidently put the wrong button. So could you swap the buttons on this thing? And the guy's like, we didn't do that. And I'm like, wow, there'd be quite a ruse.
Do you remember my story? Speaking of shitty apartments, when you're in a shitty apartment in LA, like your landlord is your handyman, right? Anything goes wrong, he's gonna come by and fix it himself. So my shitty apartment manager, Modem, he comes by because the closet door came off, right? The folding closet door.
Bifolding.
Yeah, and he's gonna hang it, and he hangs it, and long story short,
bifolding?
could have been.
Slats.
You'd have to ask Monum.
All right.
Anyway, long story short, he hangs it upside down, and I'm like, this doesn't quite fit right. The knobs are misaligned. I'm like, Monum, it's upside down. He goes, Brian, you told me to. I'm like, I told you to.
I do love that.
That's good.
I just fucking eat it.
Landlords are the kings of gaslighting you. They're just
That's
like,
right.
I never told you to do that.
Yeah, that's
you told me
exactly
to do
right.
that. You told me you wanted to move here. Why would I tell you to do that?
It is so funny when they say something inane, but I do like it. Also, everyone listening, your first response doesn't have to be a defensive response that throws it on the other person. Sometimes you can go, oh, geez, it is upside down. Let me fix that.
Oh, look at that, how foolish. But no, I told him to. It's really my fault.
All right, let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Motherfucking goddamn, my mom's Ursula.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
I need a picture of Tanya Tucker now to show Trevor.
Tanya
Tucker.
Sounds
sorry.
like is she still alive?
Oh yeah.
68
sounds
years
like a
young.
porn star.
Yeah.
Just
A young
Tanya
picture
Tucker.
or
Coming to stage, Tanya Tucker.
Voice of an angel.
just dropped a country album. So says Dawson. I will take care of a little business. Indianapolis Helium. Going to go there and do some stand-up shows May 6th and 7th, and then we'll do some live pods there too. And you can go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows because we're going to be traveling around. Sea Legs, Huntington Beach is a great, fun outdoor venue if you guys want to come out, do a live pod there. Trevor's doing stand-up everywhere. Dallas, Texas, the Majestic Theater, April 14th, and the Paramount Theater, April 15th and 16th. Website, TrevorWallaceComedy.com is where you go, and if there's no picture of Tanya, we'll get the fuck on with it.
Wow, I would.
Tanya Tucker.
I'd go to one of her concerts naked. I'll tell you what, that's a lovely lady right there.
Trevor Wallace, the Gina Grad and Bald Bryan, and Adam Carolla say it. Mahalo. Well, that's a white name.
Yeah.
And you put your la in front of it. I'm sorry. That's our name. You go get your own names. That's a whitey name.
Well,
you're now appropriating.
I get
I'm
it.
saying the cultural appropriation, it's a two-way street. You know what I mean? White chicks aren't allowed to make tacos in Portland. Well, then Tanya's our name.
Sure.
So how about this? Well, I bet you one of those two chicks is named Tanya. All right, Mayhem's got news. I have some things I wanted to get into myself.
All right.
It's tough, Mayhem.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you may have experienced this yourself, but my wiring is like, you're fine, get up, get going, rub some dirt on it, whatever. And that's how I grew up. I grew up playing football. I was always like, get up, go, you're fine.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'd have situations like the first time I got wrist surgery, I was driving a BMW M3 at the time, and it was a 5-speed, and I had this big cast on my right hand,
Hard
you
to
know,
shift.
and people were like, well, you're going to have a ride service or get an automatic or something like that. And I said, I can handle it.
Man up and grip with your pinky.
And I drove the whole time I had this cast on my arm. It was fine. I steered with my left. I kind of shoved it in. Fine. And then one other time, I got arthroscopic surgery, and they were like, I had it lined up for about 3 or 4 days before this car race I was doing, and they're like, you're not going to be able to do the car race, you know. And I was like, I'll do it, because I got arthroscopic surgery on my right knee a million years ago, and I got into the biggest street fight of my life, and I still had stitches in my knee. As a matter of fact, the whole reason I got in the fight, because I said the guy, my knee's fucked, I just had surgery on my knee, and he went, I'm going to break your other knee, bro. And I went, oh, now we're getting it on.
Man, you're hanging out at the bars I used to hang out.
This is at his house, but yeah.
Even better.
Right, so I said, now we're going to do it. So I did a lot of shit with a fucked up knee and a fucked up hand and surgery, and I was always that way. And I remember when I was doing Kevin and Bean, and me and Jimmy were on, their producer was Frank Murphy. Nice enough guy, little quirky. He lived about 3 miles from the studio, and he had to get surgery on his arm, like a wrist thing, like what I had, or his arm was in a cast or something like that. And I remember he would explain to it. Now, this is morning radio. And you had to be there at 4:45, maybe 5 a.m. every day if you were the producer of the show, because the show started right at 6 a.m.
This is Kevin and Bean you're talking about.
Kevin and Bean.
All right.
And if you showed up at 5:45, you were late, man. I mean, you needed to be there prepping.
Yeah.
So Frank got up at probably 4:15 every morning, and he made his poor wife drive him into work every day. And me and Jimmy were like, you drive an automatic. Just put the fucking thing in drive and drive yourself. You're waking your wife up at 4 a.m. to drive you 3 miles and then go back home. Oh, we made fun of him so much that he went nuts on us. He went nuts on Jimmy. But I was just like, fuck that. So a problem I've always had is me telling people, don't worry about it. You're fine. Here we go. And them going, I'm injured. I can't do, the doctor said, the doctor said, the fucking doctor said. Well, first off, what did the doctor say about COVID? Doctor's not right a lot of the time. Secondly, doctors are always like max protection for lawsuits and lawyers and liability. So if a doctor says, if you need 2 days bed rest, your doctor just goes, take a week in bed. Because they don't care what you're missing, and they're just covering their ass, right? So.
Are you grievously injured right now?
I'm fine. I'm always fine. But I have a friend. I won't say his name.
Very well.
He has a wife. I like her too.
Don't say her name.
No. She had arthroscopic knee surgery.
Yes.
Now remember, I've had this surgery twice, and it's you're good to go next day, pretty much.
I'm clocking in at 5.
You're at 5. Yeah, and you're good.
I'm fine.
You can drive a car the next day.
You see me hopping around? Yeah. I walked into the house after double ACL surgery.
Right. That's my point. All right. So this guy is a huge Costner Horizon movie fan. Says he watched the first one like 5 times. And I said, well, good news. I go, Costner has invited me up to Santa Barbara to watch the second installment of Horizon. And he's like, oh my God, because that's not playing anywhere. He's just showing it. It's going to come to Santa Barbara, hang out with Costner and watch. He's like, oh, I got to get in on that. I said, I'll get you in on that. So coming up this weekend, I'm going up there. And so I call him today. I go, coming to Santa Barbara, hanging with Costner. He's like, can't. Wife had the arthroscopic surgery. I go, well, when did she have it? She says, Monday. I said, well, the thing's not till the weekend. Yeah, she can't drive. I said, what? It's automatic, right? Yeah. I said, she can't drive, huh? No. And he goes, it's her left leg. I go, on an automatic? Yeah. You don't. I was in Florida. I was in Florida 2 days ago. I saw something I don't see often in California. Dude driving with the left foot out the window. The bare fucking foot out the window, because you don't need it if you're driving an automatic. It's just right gas, right brake.
I was just airing out my foot, bud.
Yeah. So I said, she can't drive the automatic.
And this guy can't drive?
With her good leg?
They're not coming together?
Well, no, because the doctor's like, hey, 2 weeks off. And women listen to doctors because they don't know that it's all about liability. It's all about insurance. It's all about attorneys. And so they go, take the max. Like I've said many times, I've argued with women about this in the past. They'll go like, no eating any liquids or solids after 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Right? I go, okay, what time's the surgery? 8 a.m. the next morning. All right. Okay, fine. Next time there's a procedure, no liquids or solids after 10 p.m. I go, what time's the surgery? 1 p.m. I go, well, that's not 8 in the morning. See what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
You said not he says not after 10.
Arbitrary.
Yeah, not after 10 for 8 a.m. and not after 10 for 1 p.m. procedure. According to my math, I can eat shit until 3:30 in the morning. No, it says not after 10. And I don't realize it's one big lawyer and one big blanket statement and one big, you stay off that leg for 2 weeks. No driving a car. And it's like, yeah, but they don't realize is you got a husband who can't go anywhere or do anything now because he's got to drive you around the whole
he's
time.
Like taking care of his old lady. That's his why he's not showing up to once in a lifetime.
Yeah, she is stuck and couldn't go anywhere, would be trapped in the house. Yes, she can't drive herself.
But this is the day of Uber Eats. This is the day of Postmates. This is the day she can be waited on hand and foot by somebody else. No problem.
Well, speaking of foot, you don't use your left foot. You just use your right foot. So what? But see, here's what I'm saying. Doctors do this fucking bullshit where they go, just stay off it for a month, and every woman I know goes, that's what the doctor said. And I go, they're just fucking rounding up on everything. You're fucking fine. Look it up, Byron. You know what I told her? I told her Steve McQueen entered the 12 Hours of Sebring race in like 1969 and came in second with a fucking cast on his foot. And then that car is a clutch. You got to use your left foot. Yeah. You can look it up. The point is, listen, doctor, stop being such pussies. We just got destroyed with COVID with all your fucking proclamations. And or women, stop listening to these guys. Every woman I've ever been with, I just go, listen, you're fine. You don't need to do that. I can handle that. The doctor said, the doctor is going to do the maximum safety protection.
Covering his ass.
He's going to cover his ass. It's going to be the longest period of time. This is a picture of Steve McQueen at the 12 Hours of Sebring from 1968 with a full cast on his left foot. That's his clutch foot. Drove a 12-hour race. Archie Manning played an entire season with a forearm cast on. It can be done.
Yeah. I mean, it's like silly to me. Like,
to
for
you.
mixed martial arts background.
Oh, my God.
If I didn't go in injured, then that means I didn't train properly.
You never went in. Yeah,
exactly.
All right. We have something I wanted to play, which I thought was funny.
All right.
Which is the DNC has a rule about binary, and there's regulations. And, here's what it is. The woke have now been bitten by their own snake. They've created so many rules and regulations that they can't keep up with them. And it kind of reminds me when that pussy Justin Trudeau was up there. There's a funny clip of him going, and I want you to know that I honor the LGBTQ the LGBT. He's so fucking woke. But he forgot once he got to the 11th letter. He forgot because there's so many fucking letters on there of idiots we have to honor.
I don't know.
And this guy gets up at the DNC. I don't know. Do we have? I don't know if we have a signal on the top of our monitor here, but so can we play it on the bottom monitor?
Yeah.
Anyway, the guy gets up at the DNC, and he's explaining.
No.
He's explaining that they only picked two genders, but they didn't pick a non-gender, and according to the non-gender. Okay, you guys first off tell me if this makes sense to you, or you even understand what your marching orders are. By the way, there's theirs and Zim and their and her and Z and she and his and Z and they and them and Zim.
I'm confused.
And they. By the way, these are words that some fuckstick made up 10 minutes ago to confuse you, old man. These words don't mean anything, and they don't exist. So never memorize them because they made them up. But anyway, all right, he'll give the speech. It's funny. But we'll do it with the sound for a change, I think. No? We don't have the sound. Well, Dawson's not here to
Tech
submit.
issues, yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, there's no sound?
The non-binary.
Well, normally when we play stuff, it doesn't have sound, but that's because of us.
Male nor female is remaining. We must elect one. Rules specify when we have a gender, non-binary candidate or officer. The non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the 6 officers must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male and female and 1 person of any gender.
All right, so pause there for a second. So right now there's 2 male and 2 female, but they're not gender balanced.
How is that not balanced?
I don't know how much more balanced it can get.
The problem is, the woke thing is going like everybody has to be individualized. And since some people don't fit perfectly into male or female, now they've like split hairs to the point where it's Zim with the X, XA. Like,
right. Now,
know.
if you could hear this guy, and we'll figure our sound out, I think. If you could hear this guy, he would make no sense at all because I don't know what he's missing.
Nice.
All right. So we can't get sound out of this guy because it's a technical thing or because there's some button that's not flipped that we don't know about.
Flip that switch.
You
got it, bud.
I'm figuring it out. It's a work in progress. I'm doing my best here.
Oh, water spilled on the cord. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, we'll continue this guy playing. So again, this is the vice chair race.
Yeah,
we have to elect one female and one person of any gender to ensure our process accounts for the non-binary candidate. We conferred with our LB, and now he's talking too fast. They had to confer with their LGBT
rules specify.
I knew we'd get it back.
We got it.
Well, maybe not.
Nah, you had it, bud. And then rewind this thing. This is very interesting.
I find it fascinating because he's confused himself, is basically what it is. And like I said, Dawson's not here today, so we're having some technical difficulties. Well, get on with your story, and then we'll see if we can play this now.
I think we got it.
Here we go.
Meets the gender balance requirements in our rules. To do this, our process will be slightly different than the one outlined to you earlier this week. But I hope you will see that in practice it is simple and transparent. The order of balloting is designed to ensure equal access to the ballot, regardless of gender identity. As we must elect a candidate of any gender as well as one male and one female vice chair, we will first ask members to elect a candidate of any gender on the first ballot. Any candidate, male, female, and non-binary, can be elected on that ballot. After a candidate is elected on the first ballot, we'll have one officer of the three, so then we will know which position is filled of the one male, one female, and one vice chair of any gender. Our second ballot would also be for a candidate of any gender. Then our third ballot will be the third position that is remaining based on the two results. Either a male candidate if a candidate that is not male has not been elected, or a female candidate if a female has not been elected.
What? I have no fucking idea what he's saying. Let me just explain something. 10 minutes ago, you had Joe Biden, who doesn't give a shit about black people and or women. The guy's never even met his biological granddaughter, for fuck's sake. You think he cares about women? He doesn't give a shit about black people or women. He decided that he needed a black female vice president. You then took someone who's incompetent and put her into that position, and then when the old man that you lied about ended up having dementia, he fell off, and then you guys were stuck with an incompetent black woman, and you couldn't get rid of her because you can't get rid of a woman of color and replace him with a heterosexual white male. So then she ran for president. Nobody fucking liked her, and she lost the election. So keep going, retards. Yeah, keep fucking hobbling yourself, you
stand
fucking
in the corner
idiots.
and paint and paint and paint.
Ugh. All right, what do you got?
Man, I'm gonna just keep you hot right now. President Trump says he plans to investigate California's high-speed rail project. President Donald Trump is putting California high-speed rail project in his crosshairs, promising a full investigation into what he calls a colossal waste of taxpayer money. I have a feeling you have feelings about this.
Well, let's just try to put it in the realm of a home. You know what I mean? And you go, okay, we need to maintain and repair and what have you with this home, you know? And maybe you'd like to sell the home and you want to fix it up. You want to put a little money into it, then you want to sell it, you know? So you go, our budget is $25,000. You know, what can we do with this $25,000? And someone goes, well, you could take the kitchen and you could reskin the cabinets. You couldn't buy a whole new cabinet set and whole new kitchen, but you could do countertops and refurbish, the cabinets. And you go, okay. And then you go, for $4,000, you could put some sod down and do the front lawn, some landscape, and get some curb appeal going. And then you probably get the place painted, the fascia and whatnot, for another $6,000 or something. And then someone went, no, I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to buy a $30,000 toilet and put it in the basement, and you go, I don't think that's going to help with what we want. We need to get the HVAC system working right. This person needs to come in and see that the hot and the cold water's working good, and that the air conditioning's working well, and that the front lawn has some curb appeal. And they go, I want my golden toilet. And you go, but no one even goes to that bathroom in the basement. And by the way, who cares if the toilet's golden? We'll just get a standard toilet for $120. We'll put that down there. I want a golden toilet. And so what I'm saying is with that analogy, we don't need a train from Bakersfield to Merced, but we do need an aqueduct, and we do need a way to collect and capture rainwater, and we do need fire hydrants that are ready to go when a fire breaks out, and we do need enough staff so that. All right, I don't know what's going on in the next room, but don't bring water. Don't bring water in there. The point is we do need enough firefighters for the next one, and maybe a couple of those airplanes that drop the fire retardant material, or a helicopter, we wouldn't have to lease them from Canada. We could own those ourselves. How about we spend the money on shit we might use, or we'll just build a school
You're making
somewhere.
too much sense, eh?
Right. Yeah. No, but instead we have a train that no one will ever get on.
Well, hold your horses. Gavin Newsom has defended the project, saying that progress is being made. Rail officials are focused on completing the Merced to Bakersfield route with a target operational date between 2030 and 2033. So strap on your boots.
Never going to
work. Get ready. Start packing your bags now. Because 2030, you're going to be able to go from Merced right to Bakersfield.
Okay. That's their target date. Their target budget is over by $80 billion. Their target doesn't mean shit to me. They ain't William Tell. They're William Tell alive. That's
Let me tell you, you want to be mad. I fought in Japan for a long time. I saw them start a freeway exit, like a freeway run, like a ramp. I saw them, and within the week, the asphalt was down. I saw them start it. Yeah. And I thought it was a waste of space. There's a guy standing there with a a sign, do not go in here, all day, just standing still in a nice uniform. And I was like, wow, what a waste of time. And then by the end of the week, they had that on-ramp completed.
Yeah, so their target date doesn't mean jack squat to anybody, and it doesn't matter what their target date is. No one's going from Bakersfield to Merced or Merced to Bakersfield. It's insane. Trump is right. These fuckers do nothing but waste money, and the fact that they fight so hard for the money that they waste is insane. They waste our money.
Yeah, yes. Trump's quote is, that train that's being built between Los Angeles and San Francisco is the worst managed project I think I've ever seen.
Of course, it's California. We don't manage anything correctly.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to change things, but yeah.
I'll tell you how we're going to change things.
All right.
Trump and or the crew, Elon Musk and his minions and Pete Hegseth and all these guys, they're going to come in, they're going to fucking kick ass, and then even the dumbest people are going to go, kind of want that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like right now, we don't like the coach because he's mean, and we don't like the coach because he's not a player's coach. We don't like the coach because he yells at the players and stuff like that. We'll win a couple of Super Bowls, and then people like that coach. That's how it's going to be. We'll get something done, and then they'll go for it.
All right. Well, in that same vein, here we go. He's wrecking stuff already. White House preparing executive order to abolish the education department.
Yes.
Yeah.
They act like we need the education. It should be state and local. And when we made it to 1979 without a Department of Education. I made it to my first year in high school. I went all the way through grade school and junior high with no Department of Education. Everything was fine. We don't need it.
You mean the state of California educated you?
That's right.
Right.
We did not need the federal government involved. And they always do. They do the same fucking thing over and over again. Doom and gloom. Trump said, we're going to move the embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to I don't know where. Or from here to there. And where is it? Jerusalem. It was like from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, right? Or Jerusalem to Tel Aviv. Whatever. That's why I said Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Why you give me the fucking head shake? Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Yes. All right. Shut up. Just nod then when I'm right. Don't redo your... Andrew, don't redo your hand thing if I'm right. Just go... yeah. Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And then you go with your hand. You go, here to here. Well, that... Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Yes? Thumb up?
We're going to have the kinks.
Yes. Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Correct. Thumbs up. Okay. So, they said the Middle East was going to catch on fire if he did that. And then he did it, and nothing happened. And nothing ever happens because they say everything's going to catch on fire. Get rid of this fucking system. Get school choice. And let's get some kids educated. We were number one in education before they took over, and now we're, I don't know, in the teens or the 20s or something. So they do nothing except for fucking funnel money to their crony school teachers unions, which, by the way, we just got butt fucked during COVID because of the teachers union. So fucking cry me a river. Get rid of all of it.
The proposed executive order would initiate a two-step process, first directing the department to develop a plan to wind down its operations, and second, identifying the legislative actions required to transfer its functions to other agencies or return them to the states. However, it is important to note that the complete abolition of the department cannot be achieved solely through executive action. Congressional approval is necessary to fully dissolve a federal agency.
Right. And all the people that fight all this stuff are not fighting for the kids, or they're not fighting for whomever. They're fighting so that people who fucking barely work can keep getting paid and then vote for them. Well, fuck that. It's our tax money.
Yeah, like I took a teacher for a roll in the hay back in the day, and she was super into getting her tenure. It was like this weird thing, and she was pretty young.
Were you a student?
No, not.
Okay, well,
sorry.
Know.
Well, yeah. I mean, these days.
No, look, they're people that don't want to work, and they're essentially communist light. They've dropped out of the competitive free market system, and they just want guaranteed.
And I was like, but you're like 28.
That's all they want. You know? They want the government to take care of them, so fuck them. Listen, okay, remember when Elon, and you can look this up, but Elon showed up at Twitter, right?
With the sink?
With the sink.
Let that sink in.
Elon showed up at Twitter. All right. I don't know what's wrong with our...
I don't know what's going on. It's today. Wild today. Everything's falling apart. It's like Groundhog Day. What's going on?
Remember we were talking yesterday, and I said these things had to be done before the show because they only they expired at a certain point. Did we have that conversation? Well, did we do that? No?
We're having some growing pains at the show over here. Right. We got it, Ace. All right. We're going to get it. Tomorrow's another day.
Well, we got you and we got me and Dr. Drew up on this one. All right, doesn't matter. The point is this. Elon went to Twitter, right? Elon fired 75% of the staff.
Yeah.
Is Twitter gone?
No. I know, yeah.
So he just went in and he just cleaned house, and then that was that.
There's a big hubbub, and everybody complained, yeah.
Elon can do the same thing for our federal government. Just come in, clean house, and that'll be that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens with that. We'll keep updated with that. Quickly, the George Mason University students win lawsuit after criticizing proposal to add tampons to men's restroom. Yeah, the George Mason University students have won a major free speech battle after a judge ruled in their favor in a lawsuit sparked by their criticism of a campus proposal to install tampons in men's restrooms. Yeah, the controversy began when 2 students voiced their opposition through social media and private student forums. The strange thing that happened was the university responded by issuing no contact orders against the 2 students, barring them from interacting with other students without explanation or warning. So they just suddenly got them like a do not contact order, signed by a judge, to not talk to other students. The students argued that the orders were used to silence their viewpoints, prompting the lawsuit. The settlement awarded $15,000 in damages to the students and covered their attorney's fees.
Yeah, good. Well, look, we're going to have to sue everybody because they got nuts and they went over their skis and they started pressing people and stripping away their rights, and now we have to go in and fucking clean house.
Yeah.
Which is weird and sad. And I think people look at it, and they look at it as that way with what Trump's trying to do with the FBI, and they're like, oh, this is un-American. It's like, no, what they did is un-American, and now we have to clean it up. You stripping away people's rights and canceling people and pulling people off the internet or shadow banning people because they disagree with your narrative about COVID or the transgender. That's the un-American part. Now we got to go back and fix it. It could have been avoided, but you guys had to go and do all this shit. They didn't have to do it. They could have just stood by free speech.
Free speech is speech that you don't like and you have to listen to. So it's weird that it's going both ways.
Yeah, any speech, you don't get to decide. You know, because these assholes, they did the same thing. They go, I'm all for free speech, but you understand this disinformation they're talking about. Like, well, that's your version of what's disinformation, because I got a different version of mis and disinformation, and in my world I agree with this guy and don't agree with you. This notion that they get to be the proprietors of who decides what is mis and disinformation is scary, and especially when you guys are wrong about everything and land in the same place every time.
Isn't the proprietors the people who have the power? Like, if you have a platform, like, you know, I know Elon can squish out stuff he doesn't like. Mark Zuckerberg did the same thing when it was advantageous to him. To me, that's what it seems like. It seems like once you have the platform, you can squish out what you don't like, even if you're wrong about it.
Well, to me, here's the insidious part. We just went through a pandemic. The government decided on a narrative that they liked.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, and I disagreed with it, and so did Dr. Drew, and so did millions of others, but they had a narrative they liked, and they put pressures on all these platforms and internet platforms to tell the story they wanted to tell and squeeze out the other voices that were raising concerns about their voices. And that's the un-American part to me. And also, we just went through this. They lied and lied and lied. And they weren't making mistakes. They were lying. All the way through COVID, they fucking lied.
I'm trying to do is get you fired up about
I'm not
COVID,
going to listen to them about anything anymore. Now that's up to see. My relationship with them is no different than my relationship with an individual. If you're going to keep lying to me, then pardon me, I'm not going to believe you the next time you have something to say. If you would not lie to me or say things like, I don't know. I'm open to it. We got to find out, but I'm not an expert at it, whatever. If you don't lie, then we'll have that kind of relationship. But right now we have a relationship where you guys lied the whole time. And now there's another group in power, and they want to go after the ones who lied, and then they go, that's un-American, which I find fascinating.
Hey, let's get off of that. Let's get into some fun stuff, because first of all, the U.S. Navy unveils a photo of a warship firing high-powered laser weapon. This is getting me hot and bothered. Look at that laser. Beautiful laser. The rave scene's got nothing on this laser. And the state-of-the-art laser developed by Lockheed Martin, so buy some stock, is designed to disable enemy drones, boats, and even incoming missiles by using concentrated energy to burn or destroy its targets. Unlike conventional weapons, Helios, that's an acronym, offers precision targeting with virtually unlimited use as long as power is available, making it a game changer for modern warfare. Man, that gets me all salty.
What do you think the range is?
It doesn't say in this. I guess they're keeping that
So
under wraps.
you're shooting it at incoming missiles, right?
Missiles, drones. I guess they're just torching things right out of the sky. Yeah.
It's the next, iteration.
Yeah.
Past the phalanx gun, which was crazy. But
when it's just a wall of lead at you? Yeah, that's a great one.
Well, it's a wall of probably depleted uranium, but
even better.
Let's not get so specific here.
Yeah.
But spent uranium, as they call it, a harder metal.
Doesn't uranium decay into lead at some point? Believe so.
This is a good question that I do not know. I know that lead is relatively soft and depleted uranium is like the hardest substance in the world. So if you're trying to shred something that has armor plating on it, you'd want to do it with depleted uranium versus lead, which is sort of mushy.
Yeah.
Uranium does decay into lead through a series of radioactive decay steps.
Yeah.
Oh, so it doesn't do it on its own, but it has to. Anyway, so we're both right. Anyway, the laser's awesome. You just got to wonder what the range is and how long before some drunken sailor tries to light his cigarette off it. Because it's going to happen.
It's happening.
Someone's going to be standing below it. Your old man would hold his Tipperillo up, right, and try to get that thing sparked.
Yeah, Newport. Yeah.
Newport. All right, Mayhem. Let's bring it on home. I want to tell everyone I'm going to be in Torrance at the end doing stand-up February 15th, and then off to Austin February 27th. San Luis Obispo, Monterey, and Napa. That's a run. February 28th, March 1st. March 2nd. You go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. I want to thank Sebastian Maniscalco and Omar Dorsey for coming in here. Bookie, very funny show. And, of course, Jonathan Shrednick, the Pickle Man. Check him out. The Pickle Dude's the name of the book. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla. For Mayhem, saying mahalo. Yeah, looters. We've been looting in this city, sort of ongoing slow motion looting at the Rite Aid or at the Prada store or wherever we may be, sort of for a while. I think we're acclimated to looting. I feel like I'm used to it.
They're building it into the budget for the year.
They're building looting in.
Yeah,
they have that lost budget.
Maybe we'll have to start doing in our homes what they do at the Save On or the Thrifties or the Rite Aid, where we just start putting our toothpaste in cages.
Yeah.
Put our universal remote in the cage. Like we'll just cage it off, and then like when the looters show up, I'll be like, I have to. This isn't my department.
Yeah.
I do home goods over here. We got to get my old lady if you want to get this prescription drugs or whatever. I don't have the key, but hold on. I'll see what I can do. You just push that buzzer. Someone will show up at some point and help you loot.
You could get a security guard who just sits on their phone all day to stand by the door.
Listen, like I said yesterday, I've said it before. They have those. My invention is, they have those plastic owls that are on the signs, like so the birds don't shit all over the place, or I don't know.
That's exactly what it's for.
They figured it out, but they put the stupid plastic Korean with the hunting rifle right on top of the roof.
Korean hunting rifle? What's that?
Oh yeah, well it's a Korean. It's my plastic Korean.
Okay.
But we do a nice job on them. You know what I mean? We used to, I don't know, who's a famous Korean? Maybe some guy from
Kim
Lost.
Jong-un,
Kim Jong-un. He's a little paunchy. I'm looking for fit Korean. You know what I mean?
Korean?
Who's a Korean? I know who it is. There's an MMA fighter called the Korean Zombies, right? In his name. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, okay.
Real fit, mad MMA skills.
Yeah.
That guy, we lay him up like they do with porn stars when they're doing we're doing the rubber pussy version of Christy Canyon or Ron Jeremy's dick or whatever. We use a Korean zombie. We get the 30-06. We don't put rounds in it, obviously. It's a plastic Korean. And we just straddle him on top of the roof. No more looters.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do we
That's how we roll.
tie a necktie around their head up on top.
Like a Rambo type bandana thing.
That was my favorite part about watching all the old videos from the LA riots back in the 90s, was those dudes up on the top of the liquor store actually took like a necktie and tied it around like they were going kamikaze style. I love that.
Yeah.
I hope you take this.
Inspirational.
You take this in the spirit, which is, Attendant Rudy, you dress your plastic Korean the way you want.
Thank you.
Let me do what I want.
That's right.
Okay.
Everyone can do their own fashion.
I put my guy in fatigues. I'm old school. I do turn the cap backward.
Yeah.
Which, that's means it's go time.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you want to do the sort of frat guy with the tie around the thing, that's fine.
Rolled up sleeves on the button up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I like that.
I may even put a smock on my guy like he works at the house. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And he grabbed his gun and went up to the roof,
Like kitchen staff or something?
Well, these guys worked at liquor stores in South Central, so all the South Central liquor stores were owned by Koreans, and then folks who lived in South Central thought they were going to help themselves to some Cools and pineapple soda. I'm not going to say what race they were. And these guys at some point got up on the roof and just started shooting people.
My Korean, I'm going North Korean. He's going to have like a little, the communist flag on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a look on his face like, if I don't take you out, they're going to put my family in an encampment somewhere. He means business.
I'm going to go Disney. I'm going I think I just might go with one of my favorite movies and just do a Mulan move.
Oh.
Because people wouldn't expect her to have such power.
Right.
I think you'd be like, just a little girl on the roof. But then you're like, what's she going to do? You might be more terrified.
You don't want to be humiliated by her.
You don't want a Korean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Korean?
No, I'm not going with whatever you guys got going on. I'm going different. I'm going different.
Squid Game.
Yeah.
I'm going Squid Game.
Is there any footage of the LA riots with the Koreans on the roof? But it's good. I've been talked about this quite a bit. Fitzdog, the full military uniform's a little on the nose for me, but I like where your head's at because it says authority. But I'm looking for guy who was working at the liquor store who grabbed his hunting rifle and sprinted to my house. I went a little bit of a on-the-fly kind of vibe to it.
He had the rifle behind the cash register. Like it's his cash register rifle.
And I called him, and he hightailed it up to my place and got up on the roof.
Yeah, you upgrade for the automatic spritzer to make it look like there's a little glisten of sweat on his brow before he starts popping caps.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to, I like I said, it'll be enough eventually, but eventually the seagulls caught on to the plastic owls. You know what I mean? There's no fear anymore.
Yeah.
You're only going to get through so many natural disasters and so many riots with your fake Korean rooftop Korean. You know what I mean? And you know what? When all's clear during the holidays, put a Santa beard on him.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean? Just come lean him up against the chimney. Like Santa's lost he's got a hunting rifle. Don't worry about it.
And ho 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 probably is his last name.
Yeah.
See, they got the tie around the head. See
They got
what I
the
mean?
tie
I
around
told
the head.
you, yeah.
This looks like Squid Games, to be for real.
Blow up that picture. I mean, there are
Wow. That's
5
badass.
Koreans
That's badass.
with hunting rifles, and they got the Cobra Kai bandana tied around their head, and they're just up there shooting at anyone who's coming down to bust into their Quickie Mart.
Yeah.
Super effective. You can talk all you want about like healing the city and doing the right thing and coming together, or you can just throw a Korean on the roof and they stop lighting fires.
And
Like
sleep
super
at
fast. Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, looting's been going on forever. Wasn't the country basically founded on looting?
Well, not Korea.
Let's be real.
Korea's had Koreans on the roof the whole time.
You know, I was thinking about this because back in Minneapolis, we had riots not that long ago, and there were a lot of business owners, even though there's a lot that say, no, that wasn't the case, that when shit started going down and people started lighting buildings on fires, they were like, you know what? I would like my building to also go up in flames so I can have insurance pay for it. We've lost it. We've lost our way. Koreans protect theirs.
Yeah.
Back in the day, man, like Minneapolis, they were like, no, we hate this building. It's a piece of shit. We're trying to get people moved out. Go ahead and light my business on
Listen,
fire.
with all due respect, especially after your devastating loss to my Rams, you got Somalis over there. You got skinny people trying to hijack liquor stores.
Yeah, you are right.
You don't have Koreans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't defend. Look, You need a super tanker brought to Somalia. That's your people. You need a liquor store protected. That's us. That's Koreans. You understand? You needed more Koreans over there when the shit went down.
You're
You had
right.
Somalis, skinny guys. Trying to pronounce the captain's name, not going to work.
Yeah,
Terrifying.
Th're great on the water. That's
They're
why
good
they
on the
moved to
water.
Minnesota.
They're water people. Yeah, all the lakes.
The balls to take over a boat.
It's so weird that you remember the bandana. I forgot the Cobra Kai bandana around their heads.
Yeah, because I had gone for Halloween.
As a
rooftop
Korean?
Yeah, that's how I knew.
Rudy, I don't doubt it.
Did you go rooftop to rooftop?
Yeah, so
for
I
Halloween?
went 2 years in a row. I went as Korean rooftop guy, and then the year after, this was right after 9/11. The year after 9/11, I had a huge beard growing out, and 22 years old. I look back on this and think, God damn it! But I went to Home Depot and I got like a piece of wooden, like a railing. You know, the roll. I don't know what you want to call it.
A dowel.
Yeah, so I got a dowel, probably about, I don't know, 6 feet long, and I chopped it into 8 pieces, and I made a small bomb. I fashioned a bomb with screws on top of it, and then wrapped wire around it, and then
suicide bomber.
Put a towel on my head, and went out that night. And there was a couple of Marines that were like, "Dude, we're going to give you an opportunity to go home and change."
Wow,
I was like, "You know what? I think you're right. Maybe hindsight 2020." But I was 22, man. Like, you know, that's what you do when you're 22.
I went in blackface as Mr. T, and I'm offended.
Did you really?
That was a week ago. Yeah.
Pull up the photo, guys. Dawson, pull up the photo.
If you don't think there's a photo, there is a photo of me as Mr. T. But I shaved my head. I grew out the beard. Yeah. I did the whole 9 yards. I went full Mr. T. And it, like I said, you will see a picture.
Is that Jim Carrey as Fire Marshal Bill next to you?
Mr. D. No, that's my buddy Ray tried to drag me out in the street naked when I was many years ago in my driveway. Yeah, went the full head shave. Damn. Went for the full black makeup. Went chains. Did the whole thing. Did the whole
that's
thing.
a security guard you can keep in your house to protect your house from
that
looters.
guy should be on your roof right now.
Yeah.
Take care. I pity the fool who loots in Bel Air.
That's not just blackface. You did your arms and your neck and your ears.
It's black soul.
You have to do your whole body. Well, Mr. T went sleeveless, so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You can't wear a cardigan sweaters, Mr. T, Fitz Dog. You got to go full black.
You guys commit to your Halloween costumes more than you do people in your life. This is amazing.
That's a good point. Yeah, my buddy Ray went as a Hare Krishna. Shaved his head right on the spot. He didn't even know he was going as a Hare Krishna. He came walking to my friend Todd's apartment. I was getting my head shaved as Mr. T, and he just came walking in, and he went, "What are you guys doing?" I'm going as Mr. T. And my friend Todd had his wall razor out, his buzzer out, and he was like, "You're going as Mr. T?" I go, "Yeah," and he goes, "Okay, well, I'll go as a Hare Krishna. Shave my head, but leave 8 inches of it in the back."
And nobody shaved their head back then. That was a strong.
We're talking like 1984.
Yeah.
Like people all looked like they were in the band The Romantics in 84.
Yeah.
Like shaving your head meant, all right, you're not going to get laid for 9 months at least. Went for it.
You all shaved your head, but you also had
No
secret
surprise,
meetings.
this was the year you made $0.
No, the year $0.
Yeah, well.
I never forget. I walked into my dad's kitchen the next day. He was like, I had washed off the blackface, but I still had the Mr. T haircut.
Yeah.
And my dad was a man of few words, but he just looked at me and he went, "You're trying to get a job?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for a job." And he's like, Good luck. And he just walked in the next room. Like there's already, look, you're a shit high school student. You fucking have no skill set. And now you have this haircut in 1984.
Yeah.
You're not getting a job anytime soon.
Your ear is black.
He didn't try to persuade you, though, like you were talking about before. He didn't try to push you. He just let you walk around and
he's just go back to the garage and shit into a decorative popcorn tin. You'll be fine.
At least he didn't pee on the couch.
When I was 13, I dressed up as an abortion.
What?
I put a hanger around my neck and ketchup all over my face, and all the guys were dying, and every girl was so fucking upset they wouldn't talk to me for a while.
Because their babies literally died.
That's right.
I love
They made sacrifices.
I love the inappropriate Halloween. That's a coffee table book right here.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
You know, like back before you could get canceled, back before pronouns, like back before any kind of civic judgment was going on. Here's what dudes dressed like.
Well, we also, the default outfit was homeless guy. It was bum.
Bum.
They called it a bum, but we were homeless people. Like literally 9 out of 10 guys were like a ripped up pea coat and garbage sticking out of your shirt.
I bet a lot of those guys are actually homeless now.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember my mom helping me tie the handkerchief to the end of a stick for my hobo costume. Yeah.
My buddy Ray you saw in that picture went to school on Halloween at North Hollywood High as just a black guy. He just went black
Just
dude.
black dude?
That was an outfit. I mean, it's like, well, you had to be something different than what you were.
Yeah.
Did anyone ever go as a white person? Anybody see that?
The standard move, our standard younger move when we didn't have any money for outfits or anything is because it was around football season. Your sister would wear your football uniform. This is like peewee football, like 12, you dress in their cheerleading outfit and they dress in your football uniform. And that way there's no money spent, no DNA, no issues. Just here's that, here's this. Didn't have to buy anything, didn't have to make anything out of a toilet paper roll and foil or go to the Home Depot and dice up some closet pole or any of that stuff. That's what you're talking about. You got a 6 foot, inch and 3/8 wooden dowel closet pole.
Yeah, and I worked at a radio station at the time, and they printed in our yearly calendar a photo of me in that costume. Every year. Oh yeah, man. So I could call somebody right now and be like, send that photo. It's around.
Yeah.
So hopefully it sits in a vault for a long time. We tried to go, me and a couple friends tried to go the year that Family Guy put out the bit Prom Night Dumpster Baby. Do you remember when they did that? Is it Prom Night Dumpster Baby? Yeah. We tried. Girlfriends were like, you guys do it, we're done.
Yeah.
That was the line.
Yeah. No, there's a great one, speaking of hearkening back to politicians. I think it was Ralph Northam or something. Remember a few years ago, there was like a fraternity book or, a student book from college or something. And one guy was in blackface and the other guy was a Klansman who was standing next to him. And he got popped. He got called out on it.
Oh, yeah.
But he was like, I'm not necessarily the guy in the blackface. Like, I could be the Klansman. Like, I can't really remember. But it was...
wasn't it?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, there you go.
Ralph Northam. And there's a picture of a black guy standing next to a Klansman, and it's on his page. So it's like him with the Corvette, him with the cowboy hat, and then the senior photo. Like, this is college. And he's like, I don't think I was the blackface guy. Like, I'm pretty sure I was the Klan guy. And he was like trying to soften the blow, which is, I guess, damage control, right? Like, he was like, I don't remember doing the blackface. Maybe the Klan. I don't even know why this was in my portfolio.
He should have just said he was an upside down snow cone, not even to try to say he was a Klansman. It's like a bad snow
was
cone
the
costume.
story that Ralph Northam, who's from, I don't know, Virginia. I don't know what he is. He's a congressman or something. He got in hot water, and he kind of went, I'm pretty sure I was the Klan guy.
The way I remember it is he wasn't sure which one he was. He couldn't tell you which one.
Yeah, right.
He's like, but I'm an actual Klansman in real life.
Yeah, it'd be like me going, did I go as Mr. T or was I Face from the A-Team? Like, I got a pretty good recollection of going as
I don't quite
Mr.
remember.
T. You when you put that much shoe polish on your face, you do tend to recall these things.
Because you have mesothelioma.
Yeah.
Well, look, how tall is Ralph Northam? Because one guy is 6 inches taller than the other. I mean, point hood, Klan hood not included. But if this guy's 6'1", that's him, right? Because otherwise the guy next to him is 6'9", right? So is Ralph Northam, he's a Democratic Virginia governor, Ralph Northam. Oh, he's 6'1"? Oh, I did guess Ralph Northam. See, that's my gift. Some people, it's kids. For me, it's clans politicians and guessing their height from their yearbook photos.
He'd be great at a racist carnival.
I would say that's him at 6'1", because if he is the Klansman, then it means the guy in blackface is 6'9.5", may actually be a power forward in the NBA. Maybe that's Karl Malone. We don't know. Yeah.
He could have one of those pointy skulls underneath.
What was his story? He did give. I like the story part. Like, here's what you do. You go, I was 22 and I was drunk. You got any more questions? Anyone here been 22? Yeah. Anyone here been drunk? Right. Okay. Next.
Done.
Instead, they go, I don't recognize that Klan hood, but it didn't find its way into the yearbook. So, all right. Well, Dawson will find. What's his official story on which one he was? But anyway, go ahead.
This is why I always put holes in my sheets, just in case I have to convince people I was a Klansman. Like, look, I'm telling you, I was the guy, not in blackface.
That's my condom with the birthmark on it idea.
See?
In case I have to show up in court and have some person identify my cock.
Perfect.
All she remembers is the
3 holes in your condom.
That's right. What was the story, Dawson, or is there, or did there? It was an official story. It was good. Do you guys remember this? It was a while ago. All right.
He doesn't have an excuse for it. He does say he's deeply sorry and it was racist, but he doesn't explain why, and he doesn't say which one he is.
Oh, that's what it was.
He also, I mean, at first he just denied he was in the picture.
That's a smart move.
Yeah.
I would do that. I'm like, listen, I'm not on the yearbook team. I don't know who fucking slid that in.
He took the photo.
Yeah, I was taking the picture of the Klansman.
I was showing off my photographer skills.
Yeah,
I'm not a racist.
I'd get into like more trouble because I'd go, that was not a guy in a Klansman. That was a Klan rally. I was at an actual rally. That guy was dressed up.
They were at my house.
Steve. I invited him over.
Had refreshments.
Yeah, it was not Halloween, if that's what you're saying. All right, in the news.
In the news. All right, let's start it out. President Biden announced a $770 one-time payment for victims of the California wildfires. We're not waiting until those fires are over to start helping victims.
So we can go to Chipotle up to 6 times now. That's going to be awesome. 770.
Fill your tank once.
Yeah.
Is this one of my... Okay, you guys know my theory when the guy comes over to gouge you on the plumbing or the electrical or whatever, and he always goes, it's $1,386.51. Because if he says $1,500, you go, oh, come on. Like, if they hit a round number, it's like they didn't even think about it. Like, any guy comes over and goes, just give me $1,000, I'll fix your breaker box. You go, where'd you come up with that? But they go $997.52, and you're like, there's some equation. Is 770 like we thought about it number?
Yes, it is.
Is that they do it?
I think.
Because if they just did, we'll give you $500, everyone would get insulted, I guess, or be like, you didn't think about this. 770 sounds like you sat and thought about it.
Or there was a fund. There was a fund somewhere, and they divided it by the number of people that were dislocated, and yeah.
There's your dad's influence right there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right. I was
very
thinking about the numbers.
thinking.
Evidently, there's a lot of people buying baby formula because whenever they do this thing, they go 770 doesn't sound like a lot. There's a lot of people need baby formula, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, give them a break. They need some baby formula. But
My wife said that's because they don't have to cook it. It's food that's nutritious that doesn't need to be cooked, and adults are eating.
Oh, they're eating baby formula.
That's her theory.
I'm gonna try some.
But she's a doula, so what the fuck do I know?
Is your wife a doula?
Yeah.
Wow. South African doula.
That's right.
That's a title, man.
That's hot.
No, she's not South African.
I don't know. You just said you went with all your family to South Africa, and then you gave their accent and everything.
Yeah. He brought his daughter there to get an abortion. That's
right.
Why they went.
A tattoo and
family
abortion.
trip.
Do they do abortions at the tattoo parlor now?
Yeah, it's what you get after.
They made a peanut butter cup of debauchery. You want to get a tattoo to memorialize your abortion? Come on now.
It's a weed shop.
Yeah.
They do the sonogram tattoo.
Yeah. There's African circumcisions at 14.
Wait, how did we get to South Africa, and then who had the accent? And then
that was my sister-in-law. So my wife's brother's wife.
Oh, that's
there.
how we got to South Africa.
Right.
All right, that makes sense. That's a lot of commitment for you. That's a long way to go for the sort of once removed family.
That's
you know
the third time we've done it.
It's amazing.
It's the third trip to South Africa. Yeah.
It looked beautiful.
Oh, you just see the post? Yeah, it was It's unbelievable, and it really is like everyone's so fucking rugged because they're the Afrikaners are the white, they're Dutch. There were so many people that colonized South Africa. It's like the Portuguese, the English, the Dutch.
They looted it?
They looted the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And so now
no Koreans to prevent any of that.
No Koreans on the roof of South Africa with ties. Is it a tie?
Yeah.
A Rambo tie. That's what's missing.
So I go there, and I had a bad chest cold from before the trip, and so I spent 24 hours in bed, laid up, and like I said, I have bad lungs, so I get a lung infection. I get on 24 hours of flying to get there.
Oh, yeah.
They pick me up. I get in a car. It's 104 degrees, so we got the air conditioning blasting for 8 hours driving to a game park, where we then get into tents, and they're lighting fires. And now that we stopped and I said, can I get some cough medicine to the pharmacist? He gives me a fucking 64-ounce bottle that just says codeine.
Wow.
I'm like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I got like scissor going.
Yeah,
I was
2
fucking
cups.
toasty. I
2
was
chains
toasty.
or something.
Oh my God.
2 of something.
So we go into the camp, and then the flames start, and I have an asthma attack, and I've gone to the hospital throughout my life for asthma attacks, and I'm sitting there, and everybody else is setting up. There's 17 people building 5 tents, and the tent next, the campsite next to us, they're building this fortress, and I'm just sitting there like feeling like such a pussy, such a little baby, and I'm just sitting there watching them with my little inhaler, and then I look over at the site next to us, and there's a woman with intellectual disabilities, and she's doing nothing, and we just look at each other and kind of share a nod.
Yeah.
I don't have intellectual capabilities. I just was high. That's rude. That's very rude.
Yeah.
I just was super stoned looking at the fire, and here you are judging my mental capacity.
You had a funny look on your face.
Yeah. It was high.
Yeah.
You'd make a horrible Amish person. Everyone else is like raising the barn, and you're just sitting there with your Primatine mist sucking on your inhaler.
Pulling my panties out of my crack.
Raising the mist.
We got Ralph Northam giving a 1-minute apology. All right.
My fellow Virginians, earlier today I released a statement apologizing for behavior in my past that falls far short of the standard you set for me when you elected me to be your governor. I believe you deserve to hear directly from me. That photo and the racist and offensive attitudes it represents does not reflect that person I am today or the way that I have conducted myself as a soldier, a doctor, and a public servant.
Oh, damn.
Way to humble
I'm
brag
deeply
your
sorry.
credits.
Yeah.
I cannot change the decisions I made, nor can I undo the harm my behavior caused then and today.
Well, it's funny.
But I accept responsibility for my past actions, and I am ready to do the hard work of regaining your trust. I have spent the past year as your governor fighting for a Virginia that works better for all people. I am committed to continuing that fight through the remainder of my term.
If I was the camera guy, I'd be like, you know what people hate more than a black facer? A brown noser, bitch. A quit kissing ass and get back to work. You got a brown nose and a black face.
So
also,
that
if
video,
racism had an accent, it would be that.
That video was recorded on February 1st, 2019. On February 2nd, 2019, at a press conference, he said, quote, "It has taken time for me to make sure that it's not me, but I am convinced that I am not in that picture."
All right. Well, as long as he knows in his heart he's not in that picture.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
That's amazing. Now, all right, how about this, Adam? Jimmy decides to step down.
Kimmel.
You're the guy. They want you. But the blackface picture's out there.
Yeah.
We've seen it because you put it on your own show.
Yeah.
They say to you, if you make a public apology, we will give you $15 million a year to take over
Oh, yeah.
Kimmel's spot.
Absolutely. Yeah, I already prepared one in the off chance.
What's your apology?
Well, it's in the club. It's in the glove box of the car. But on the off chance that something happens to Kimmel, I got something to address. Mr. T in blackface, this whole Korean on the roof thing is another chapter I need to sort of broach.
Yeah.
You know, there's
It's going to be a long speech.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, lots of groups. You know, there's for me, it's not just the LGBT community. I break it off: gay, lesbian, fruit flies. You know, just it's a scroll that sort of keeps going. You know, it's think Barry Lyndon. You know, that movie that was like 2 hours and 2 hours and 53 minutes from like 1973. Like, it's a long.
No, I think it's the Jerry Lewis telethon. I think it's 36 hours.
I'm gonna have to get out there.
Yeah, you never take over the show. You're just always apologizing.
Yeah, I'm going to bring Norm Crosby out at some time just to break it up, just to liven it up. You know, put a smile on the kid's face, and I'll come back again. We'll check the tote board. He's up to 13,000 apologies. I didn't even know there were that many groups. He's broken
You roll
down.
each group out in a wheelchair.
That's right. That's right. There's the Jewish community. I hit them later in the night. They go to bed early. They don't have, the concerns that many others do. But there's a whole group. And they're broken off, and we do a tote board, and we do the whole thing. I have people on phones. I'm talking to a black fella right now. He doesn't accept your apology. All right, well, tell him I'll keep going. We see the tote board. Something comes off, because this guy's not accepting. We got the Korean. I got a Korean guy. He's on a roof of his liquor store in South Central. He's very adamant, very animated. And then we see, we do a whole thing.
Right.
But after a weekend, or we'll do it like the Shabbat telethon, where it'll be like the entire weekend.
Right.
I'll have
Jeff Ross comes out and roasts you about all your racism.
He roasts me about the racism.
Stamos is on drums.
Stamos is working the drum kit. We'll have a band. We're not going to get all of the Beach Boys, but we'll get some of the Beach Boys.
The ones that are getting along. Yeah,
to sit in with Stamos when he's pounding the skins back there. Yeah. We'll do a whole thing, and then I'll take over.
I love it.
Thank you. All right, Rudy.
Another one?
Forget the news.
Okay.
I'm tired.
All right. Sounds good.
I'm gonna try. I don't know. What do you guys have thoughts? It's been a week.
Mm-hmm.
I fled my home a week ago. The tennis shoes I'm wearing. It's funny. I was thinking to myself, I've been wearing these tennis shoes for a week, but I used to wear the same tennis shoes for 4 years. When I was young, so I'm kind of used to it. But I'm wearing the same shoes. I'm wearing the same clothes. I fled a week ago and have not been back.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I need to go into my condo and get stuff. I don't need to live there, but I do need to figure out what the fuck is going on in my condo, and I need stuff that's in the condo because I just
You don't need
fled.
shit. You're going to get $787.
You're rich.
Yeah. How do I get back into Malibu is my question.
You get Arnold Schwarzenegger to pick you up in his gopta.
Oh.
Yeah. Arnold would have been great as a governor right now. Wouldn't he have been awesome? We'd have stuck with Gavin. Can you imagine Arnold?
Yeah.
Get to the chopper. He's picking up water himself and dousing the city. All the women are like, he's got his little emotional support horse with.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got his donkey.
Yes. Donkey.
I'd be sitting on his Berto, and he'd be in a Humvee, and I'd be going behind him, and we'd be smoking cigars. You know what I mean?
He's got war paint on his face, and he's an army fatigue.
Oh, you see the National Guard guy, and he's like, Dawson, it's just been a while. And they do the hand for the bicep be bulging out, slow motion.
We got stuck with Gavin Newsom and his fresh blowout and manicure and tan and his windbreaker.
And he'd drop all his lines, too. He'd be like, my friend Adam is going to his condo to get underpants. He'll be back. And he just and they all go,
There's a woman running with a chihuahua. He's like, get to the chopper.
Oh, my God.
True lies right to your condo, man.
Dropping me off, hanging me like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee drops down in her hot body.
Stop and fuck some maids on
That's right.
Yeah.
That would have been so much better.
We put her in a pirate outfit. You
got to make time.
Your greatest
there's always time.
The only thing that could be worse, like when his publicist called him and look, Arnold, the whole situation about you banging Zelda, it's out. It's everywhere now. You banging the maid. And he's like, oh, how could this day get worse? And he's like, well, it got a little worse because the only picture we can find of her's in a pirate outfit. There's only one picture of this 48-year-old woman that exists, and it's her looking super
Sexy
shitty
pirate.
in a pirate outfit.
Yeah, you guys are busy doing racist outfits. We're busy making everything sexy.
There is no other photo that exists of the maid that Schwarzenegger fucked except for with a plastic sword and black tights and boots on to her knees. That's the only picture.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't think this could get worse. It got a little bit worse.
Yeah, but she wants to do sexy suicide bomber. I still got a bomb.
That's right.
You got the stuff, Rudy.
Yeah.
All right.
Shriver's like, of course, a pirate comes in, steals the booty.
That's right. All right, let me give plugs. What do you got, Rudy? You got plugs too.
I'll be with you in Naples coming up in a couple of weeks.
Oh, you will be?
Yeah, I'll be off the
okay.
hook. And then I'm on tour with Michael Yo every weekend up until June. Plus, you can go to rudypovich.comedy.com and check me out on Instagram at Rudy_Povich.
I'll be Solana Beach this Sunday. Jay Moore's on stage too, doing a couple shows there. Covina. Just got adamcarolla.com for all live stuff. Fitzdog, you can go to fitzdog.com for all live dates.
That's right.
Jessie May, where do we find you?
JessieMay.com for all things moi.
Oh, good.
And I'll be at the firehouse being the worst responder.
So, till next time, Adam Carolla over Jessie May and Fitzdog and Rudy saying mahalo. Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. The church is going to mandate. Get it on. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. You saw the ratings went up. Gina Grad.
That is great news.
And Bald Brian.
That guy sounds hot.
Oh, man, we lost one of the greats. Norm Macdonald has passed. It's funny because we just played a Norm Macdonald segment on Carolla Classics over the weekend, and then Mike August and I were talking about Norm over the weekend as well.
See what you did?
And now this.
Did you know he was sick?
No.
How unbelievably private can one person be? My goodness. 9 years he was sick, they said.
9 years. He'd had a private battle with cancer. He was one of the greats from SNL. He was an enigmatic guy who, I considered a friend, but I don't think Norm had friends in a sort of traditional sense.
Eccentric, came across that one.
Saw each other, outside of the studio on occasion. I think everyone sort of agreed he was one of the funniest guys we've ever met, but couldn't really find a lane per se. Like, I don't really mean that in a bad way. I have some of Norm's tendencies, which I'm funny, but it's not really directed in any one specific direction.
Kind of like being handsome, but you don't know it.
Well, yeah, but I know I'm hot.
Oh, right. That doesn't.
Oh, you're talking about Norm.
Norm.
Yeah, he didn't know it.
Okay, I get that.
I'm acutely aware.
Got it.
Of my hotness.
Okay.
But thanks for bringing that up.
Sure.
But let's
That
do
guy
it back
sounds
to Norm.
hot.
Yeah, so Norm.
Like he'd be, you would consider him way funnier than certain late night hosts, maybe who came from similar origins as him, but like they found a lane to direct that marginal funniness, and Norm was just this overflowing barrel of hilarity.
I would say it right. I would say on one end of the spectrum you have maybe Kevin Hart, who isn't exactly a barrel of comedy, but
enigmatic.
A motor. You know what I mean? Like constantly
force of
churning.
personality.
Yes. It's called show business. No. Well, no, what the reality is whether you're a comedian or a prize fighter or an actor, I mean, who knows who has, there's certain actors we know and they have ability and they're gifted, and there's four of those guys. And then there's everyone else. Right. And everyone else, you could argue that a guy like Tom Cruise plays the game better than anybody. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's what you get to do. No one says he's gifted or more gifted than 150 other guys, taller, better looking, like younger, like whatever. It's just
Get shit
he's
done.
focused. He's directed, and that holds true with comedy. Everyone wants to always talk about like sort of what is your comedy horsepower, and I always say it's what do you get into the rear wheels. It doesn't really matter what your engine is. It's what's coming through the transmission, going through the differential, and getting hooked up on the ground.
You really are kind of guy.
Technically, that's what I always say, but go ahead.
And Norm, everyone agreed he had 1,000 horsepower fire breathing engine. The question is how much got to the rear wheels? Right. And the answer to that would be a lot sporadically. You know, he made you laugh harder than anybody when he made you laugh, and then he was gone, you know, right. And he wasn't around. And, you know, and on the other hand, he lived life on his terms. You know, he wanted to do what he wanted to do, and he did it. You know, he probably hasn't had a day job in 35 years. I don't know if he ever, you know, I sort of, you know, kind of reminds me famously of my departed buddy Philip the Juggler. When I was in KC, somebody came up to me and said he worked with Philip and was the nicest guy because Philip lived in KC, his ex-wife or his wife, widowed wife, or, you know, he was in Branson, blah, blah, blah. But like, oh, he's the nicest guy in the world. But I've said this about him. At some point, he was lamenting that he never had the career that he thought he was going to have, or that he wished for himself. He wished a career of sitcoms, right. Or, you know, he wanted to have Tim Allen's career. First off, Tim Allen's not happy. Number
if that makes you feel any better.
Number one, he's been in, you know, 11 movies that have grossed over $200 million, but he ain't happier today than Norm was, you know, day before he died. Number one, but number two, well, you know, I just said to Philip, you've never worked a job.
Yeah,
you haven't worked a job. You worked on cruise ships. You opened for Andy Williams. You've toured the country and the world. You're in Branson. You show up at work at 4 p.m. Like, you golf in the morning. Like, you don't have a job.
Right.
That you just beat out 99.99% of humanity. Mm-hmm. And those are people walking on the planet today, and all who came before you.
That's a great lesson. My grandpa used to say in his later years to his wife, my grandma, after she had had several strokes and he had had a few heart attacks, and they're, you know, in the sunset years of their life, and they said at home, he said, look at us, we got it better than 95% of the people in this world. We're sitting here, you know, married at age whatever, you know, 75, 80. He's like, we got it better than. That's a great way to look at that's a great way to look at life.
They woke up that morning.
Yeah. Well, who are we comparing ourselves to? Aliens with zero problems that are infinitely wealthy and healthy and tall and thin? Like, who really are you comparing yourself to? So, you know, Norm may have, and it was kind of funny. I don't think Norm had the kind of career that we wanted him to have, but I think he had the kind of career that he wanted to have.
That's an interesting take, as opposed to the other way around.
Phil the Juggler didn't have the kind of career that he wanted, but we didn't want it for him.
Right.
This is all of us.
You would have done anything to trade with him.
This is the funniest guy in the world. What can we do?
Right.
What we got to do something with him. He, I think we discussed one time doing. He never drove.
Yeah.
So I think we discussed a YouTube series where Adam Carolla taught Norm Macdonald to drive, which would be a super funny series. Did end up on an episode of Jay Leno's Garage a couple years later. Not saying they ripped it off. It's a basic idea.
Not saying you're not.
Guy doesn't drive. No. Jay does. It makes sense. All right. The point is I don't choose to go through life looking at it that way. I have some fact sheets on Norm, and then also we have the epic episode or appearance on the KLSX show where he came in, and we were there was two we had to choose from. And it's a good sign when you have two epic appearances, which is one is the Kenny Rogers, Coward of the County.
Breaking it down.
Song. Breaking that down. But the other was also the Vandersloot situation in Aruba or wherever they were, where he killed them and he wanted a friend. A lot of role playing.
Norm had thoughts on that?
I can't believe Norm's appearance where he did the lawnmower having sex with his friend's wife isn't in the top two. That attests to his magnificence.
Did you hear the recording of him? And I don't know what album it was on, but it was like a comedy album of him inviting people into the Fantastic Four. I've heard it on Sirius, and it was so fucking funny.
Yes.
But I don't know where it appeared. I just heard it on a comedy channel.
I think it was from his comedy album.
Got it.
Which was not a live stand-up show, but like an old Cheech and Chong
so
where they
funny.
actually just recorded it, except for unlike Cheech and Chong, it was funny.
It's hilarious.
Just going over some random highlights here. He wrote for Roseanne from 92 to 93. Of course, Billy Madison. People versus Larry Flint. I don't remember that. Man on the Moon, Funny People, Dr. Dolittle, Grown Ups. I don't think he ever went out and campaigned for anything. You know, I don't think he filmed himself auditioning. You know, you saw the Val Kilmer doc.
Of course.
He went in deep trying to get some of those roles. I feel like Norm was super funny and everyone knew it.
Yeah.
So they were always trying to shoehorn him into something.
Yeah.
I think Daniel, my buddy Danny Two Sheets, worked with him on a late night show not too long ago, just a couple of years ago. SNL cast member from 93 to 98, of course, Larry King. I always loved his Burt Reynolds. And I love Burt Reynolds because he did young Burt Reynolds, and he wasn't even really doing Burt Reynolds. He just had the hat and the mustache, and he was just... Yeah, he was doing Burt to some degree, but his Letterman and his Larry King were a little more Letterman and Larry King.
Yet when you think of the pantheon of characters from SNL, you think of him as Burt Reynolds. That's the most memorable.
I love that character.
One of the all-time great Weekend Update hosts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. One of the greats because the jokes were so good.
Because he made it his own. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing an act. He was Norm fucking Macdonald.
Lost all his money gambling 3 times.
3 times, fool!
Tell that to Sonny.
Oh, I walked into his room after that Raiders game on Monday night and said, "You're 0 for 1, bucko." Okay. Rob Schneider's going to call in to talk about Norm.
I wonder if Rob knew about Norm's sickness, because that's the part, of course, that I gravitate towards is like Norm was sick for nigh on a decade, right? And you're friendly with Norm. You had no idea. You at least know a lot of the same people. Of course, none of us heard about it, and to live with that has not a secret, but like to live with it sort of internally and not let it out and not let people support you. I mean, it's everyone's decision. It's your own personal decision, but it's like when I chose to go public, when I first was diagnosed and like bringing on the podcast, I just felt carrying that burden would have been just too heavy, or it was just too hard, doing it with just the people I know, or, just the outpouring of support was so great and lifted me up and helped me through it all. I can't imagine what Norm went through.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite with your sexuality. Interesting. It's closely guarded. Closely guarded.
Cut that out.
Norm was raised in Quebec City. He's from Canada. Both his parents were teachers. And we got, like I said, we're talking to Rob Schneider. Is going to call in a second and give us his thoughts, because he was on SNL with Norm. He's probably done a bunch of movie Adam Sandler stuff with Norm.
And he did something that a very select group of, well, when I say very select, almost everyone but you got to play Colonel Sanders.
Oh, yeah. Always kind of curious about that as well. There's also a really funny story that I'm going to butcher. Had a great joke. It was a Norm joke. I can't remember it, and I'll screw it up. I was just thinking about it the other day before I heard about this news. But Danny Two Sheets told to me once, and I'll ask him during the wedding over the weekend for some good Norm stories. But Norm famously would go out gambling in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And
you don't say.
Norm would stay out till 5:30 in the morning or something, and Norm had like a 7 a.m. flight out of Vegas or some version of that. And as the story goes, he called for a wake-up call 1 minute before he would have had to get up to, it's like it's 5:59. He called for one at 6 a.m. And then the person said, well, that's in 1 minute. And I think the joke was him going, "You're right, let's just stay on the phone then and wait this out." Rob Schneider's online too. Rob?
Hey, I just caught that last bit. Yeah. No, Norm would attack things and in ways you wouldn't expect in comedy, which is a comedy.
Right.
I mean, the last time I was trying to think, the last time I performed with him, he had, he was just doing like a 12-minute bit, and he was about, he had a cigarette and a lighter, and before every joke, he would slowly take it up and start to light, and then he wouldn't light it because he would think of the next joke, or he would just, and he just wouldn't mention it, and then the audience would be like, "Light the cigarette," and then they'd just be dying laughing. So he had a way of attacking things that you didn't. know where it was coming. And then if you did know where it was coming, you forget about it because of his delivery, you know. And then, like he would say, like, you ever find yourself telling a lie, and then you realize right in the middle is like, wait a minute, there's no possible way I could benefit from this lie. Why am I lying? Like, hey, do you see that new Star Wars movie? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think what the reason I think comedians appreciated Norm so much is, in a way, comedians are sort of like engineers or scientists, and that like an engineer has their training and they know how to approach engineering problems. But the engineers they like are the ones that approach it differently and come up with something they would have never thought of and go, oh,
absolutely,
you're going to build a bridge that way. I was building it the way everybody else built them. And so I think comedians are that way. When you think of a premise or you hear an idea, you go, how would I approach it? And then when Norm approached it from a completely different angle, you'd go, oh, I wish I'd thought of that. Yes, that's kind of how you become the comedian's comedian. They don't like the comedians that just do the jokes that are the most basic or know where it's going. You guys were on SNL together, is that correct?
Yes.
How many seasons?
And it was like, truthfully, it was like electrifying because every joke, every show that he would do, he would start out with an OJ joke after being specifically told by the head of the network programming, Don
Ohlmeyer?
It's like no more OJ jokes, and he would start every show with an OJ joke. So it was electric because he was just like, F you to the network. And he would do, I was there at the time when like it was electric seeing him perform, and depending on how his gambling debts were doing that Saturday morning, that's how that Saturday night how he would perform. Sometimes he'd be down. And it wouldn't, he'd be a little bit off. Still great, but like, you can tell, like, he was worried.
If Notre Dame covered, he was buoyed.
Did you guys must have worked together on film sets and things of that nature as well, right?
Oh yeah, we did many films together, and I was trying to get him to do this last one, and I literally was going to call him this morning. I was calling him this week, and he wasn't answering it. He just. He hated anything maudlin, and he hated anything like him. In his famous goodbye to David Letterman, he didn't have, as he called it, a truck for sentimentality, and so he just didn't want to. He didn't want us bothered with it. I just wish he would have told us because I could have got to spend some more time with him. I was asking him to do this. This bit in the new movie, I'd like to put him in everything, And I wanted to do this movie the last 2 summers. I've been trying to get him to do it. I said, Norm, it's just my dinner with Norm. It's just you talking for an hour and a half, and we drive into different restaurants. I'm telling you, let's just do it. I got the money to do it. Let's say, I want to do it, but Adam Sandler and I and David Spade, we'd always try to, it was just great having Norm around, and he would make anything funny. I remember we did in my TV show, Real Rob, he was telling me about the vasectomy that he had, and like he said, the only bad part is the smell. And I go, what? Of the flesh burning, your flesh, And I said, okay, you got to come do this part. And so he ad-libbed the scene, and it was just brilliant. And then we did a sketch that just at my house that was on my. I hope people would want to go see it. I'm going to put it back up there. It's called The Gay Marriage Counselor. You could never do now, and it's like Norm. It was his idea, and I remember I said it's really funny. Let's just shoot it. Why? What do we do with it? I said we'll just put it on something. I don't know, RobSchneider.com or something. I said all right, and he said this is funny, and I said you wrote it. I did.
Yeah,
I did. Well, so I just Norm had his demons, and I didn't, you don't realize sometimes, like, we didn't realize, like, I didn't, because I didn't know anybody who was real addict for drugs, you know, and so you don't think of them as that this could end their life, you know. And I just remember, like, I was, you know, Norm and I were playing backgammon, and it's not fun for a gambler if you're not gambling something.
Right.
And so I was taught by Scott Wilson, who was a monster, like literally like one of the top world-class guys, and an actor, great actor too. And so he just, you know, basically taught me what backgammon was, which is the back part of the game. When you get behind, you just sacrifice your pieces and you stack up the back end, and then you win that way. That's the real way to play backgammon. And so, and he was a good player, but he wasn't at that caliber. And so we started betting, and he was down $25,000 to me, and I said, Norm, stop. I said, just stop. And I said, you don't have to pay me. It's okay. It's okay. And he was just literally like shaking, and I'm like, this is no way to live your life, you know. And it's just like he just gets caught in a hole and just tries to climb his way out. And I'm like, hey, buddy. And it was a real moment to me where I realized, like, that is gambling addiction. And here's this really the funniest guy that you know that's and the smartest guy that you know who's just tripped up by this, you know. Because I also think super smart guys can figure stuff out. But like gambling, you're never going to be able to figure that out. You can have the odds, you could realize what the likelihoods of or whatever. But like, you know, there was this bookie once told me, my buddy, Buddy is actually his name, friend of my buddy Joe Goosens, and he said, you know what I learned in 30 years of being a bookie? What's that? God wants gamblers to lose.
Well, gambling,
and eventually you're going to lose.
Gambling is a lot like riding a motorcycle full time. It's like at some point it'll get you.
Yeah.
At some point.
That's just a waste of my time.
You may, that's my son. Hey, you may string together some good years or it may catch you in the first 2 weeks. But like if you say, I shall ride a motorcycle to work and back as my sole form of transportation every day. At some point, you're going to get clipped.
Ironically, the odds go up.
Right. And gambling is kind of that, in that nobody really leaves ahead.
Yeah.
You can split lanes and make up some time.
Have a good run.
And have a good, shave a few 20 minutes off your ride to LAX. But at some point, it's not going to, you're going to wish you hadn't.
Well, and that reminds me, the only time I ever met him was he would, every once in a while, he wouldn't come into KLSX, but he would meet us at Commerce Casino for a Conway gambling poker tournament.
Well, can I ask Rob? Rob, I'm dying to know, in as much as you're comfortable talking about it, when did you know that Norm was sick? How long did you know? Who did he tell? That kind of stuff, because, you know, to live with that is a tough thing.
He didn't tell any of his close friends because he didn't want to have, I can just imagine, because I know Norm, he didn't want to bring anybody down, and he didn't want anybody feeling sorry for him, and he hated that. If you want to know how Norm felt, just watch that last performance on Letterman. He hated sentimentality and that. He didn't want anybody to treat him anything differently. I mean, that's just my pure speculation. He didn't tell me. I just know that, like, I've been trying to get him to do, because every show that I ever do, I want him to be involved in, because not only is he hilarious and he's great for the movie, but it's also, that's the time we get to spend together. People ask, like, you just hire Adam Sandler. They ask, just hire your friends in these movies. That's when we can hang out.
Right.
That's when we can be time together. But that night, I have some pictures that I released today. And that night, this is 4 years ago, when I realized something wasn't really right with him. After he had performed, he was in the lobby and he had just fallen asleep right there, and just was not able to make it up to the room. And he's a big man, so I got him up to the room and got him onto the bed, and I just wanted, just in case, after what I'd seen it happen to some other friends of mine, I wanted to see what in the medicine cabinet, out on the sink, there was some things, and I just wanted to see what, if he was doing some bad stuff or whatever. And so that's when I did first get a glimpse that there was something wrong. And we're it's a great gift that he had. It's like if you love these people, go out and see them while you can and appreciate them. And I don't think Norm was ever able to be anything outside of stand-up where you could truly appreciate his genius. I mean, TV couldn't really capture it. I mean, Saturday Night Live did on the news, written by Jim Downey, the real genius of Saturday Night Live. But you just to really capture Norm's essence, it was conversation, and it was seeing him do stand-up and seeing him tell stories like Hitler's dog. To really understand his mind, you know.
The thing about Norm, I kind of realize, because I have a dusting of this, you know, in terms of not divulging you have this cancer, I think he didn't want the intimacy of it. Because when you say that, then people go, oh, what can I do? Are you okay? Vulnerable. He didn't like that kind of intimacy. Sure. He was just this shark that wanted to keep swimming.
Yeah.
He didn't like the kind of real intimacy that a lot of people cherish or seek out. To him, it was something he tried to avoid.
That's so interesting, because there was a quote from Lori Joe, who, you know, his friend, you know, partner, whatever, who said, like, Norm hated pandering in any way more than anything, and in a way he may have felt like divulging this would have been a way of pandering that he just couldn't abide by.
It was a way it's a form of attention that he loathed.
Right.
You know?
Yes, I
And at the same
agree.
time, if you think about like the Canadians are like English light. And I don't mean that in any disrespectful sense, except that that's what it is. If you see Remains of the Day, you had these two people at the end of that film who just can't say that they want to be together because of just society and their place in life, and their pride won't let them. And like I do feel there's a sense of stoicism, a sense of gentlemanliness that.
Yeah, he was old school that way. Rob, I got to wrap it. I will tell people you can go to robschneider.com. Got dates coming up playing, and probably tell a few Norm stories up there on stage as well. Rob, drop by and see us anytime you're back in L.A., and thanks for sharing those stories with us.
I
we
will.
do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, and thanks for talking about Norm. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Rob. Rob Schneider. Can I say this? I was thinking about this. I jotted it down. I didn't spit it out. We're talking to Rob Schneider, but here's the interesting thing. I was thinking about Norm Macdonald. He had the cancer. He didn't want the attention.
Right.
You know, I think people
Unlike
call it
some people.
humble or something, but he wasn't comfortable with it. I now realize, and I've always realized this about myself, which is there's two types of people, and maybe a third, but I'm just going to go two types. Okay. Two types of kids. I'll put it to you that way. Male, female, doesn't much matter. You take a spill on a skateboard in the street and you bloody up your elbow and your knees and you go down hard, right? And you're with other people, friends, they're around, they're skating with you or whatever it is. And then there's kind of two simple people and mindsets. There is the pop up, I'm fine,
that didn't hurt.
Don't bother here, nothing to see, which was always me. I'd eat shit all the time, and then I'd just pop up and go. And if you ever came up to me, I'm like, oh my God, your elbow. And I go, no, it's fine. Let's go. And then I'd go lick my wounds somewhere when I got home. But I didn't want it. I was embarrassed.
Right.
I didn't like the attention. I just was always like, kind of keep walking. And then there are the people that hit the asphalt, gather around, and they milk it for all it's worth. Not necessarily even in a bad or dramatic way, but they're hurt, and they're bloodied, and people are wanting to help, and people are saying, lay down, don't try to get up, and they go okay, and then they're saying like, call my mom, get my mom over here, or maybe I should go to the hospital, I don't know, I feel like I broke something. There's that. And so I think we used to have kind of a split in our society. Traditionally, the guys were a little more stoic. They drop down, they skin themselves up, they pop up. They could pop up, they could have a broken collarbone, and they would still go, oh, you guys go ahead, I'll catch up to you. And then they just go home and keel over. And now I feel like there's been a little shift from the guys who pop up to the people that lay on their back and go, oh my God, I think I'm going to die. Call a surgeon. And probably Norm was the older school pop-up guy who just didn't want that.
Yeah.
But
your shaming of cancer patients is astounding.
Yes. It's a wiring, I guess. Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't count for you, Brian. You can't do
it's
this.
Everybody else.
You can't do this.
That's what everyone's thinking.
But it is interesting that somebody on the ground realized that this was a good way to get some attention. And now I think we're going next level, which is the person on the ground when they're going, get up, they're going, I don't know if I can do it without a new bike or a new skateboard. Like, I feel like there's now a list of demands that this person's able to give from this position.
Not so fast.
Which helps their argument a lot, because the people who pop up can't really sue people, but the people who stay down
That's a good
can.
point.
All right.
Just in defense of Brian, because of the way you viciously attacked him. It's interesting because, Brian, I would definitely consider you in the first camp. Just because you're public about it does not mean you're... There's a Yiddish word called chuchkiing, which is like they're there and like kind of just always like you don't elicit chuchkiing. You're just telling us the way it is, and then we move on with the information.
You're like a soldier on.
Well, not the way that Adam described you to be such a baby.
No, a lot of people. No, I will say this.
You were subtweeting me from 2 feet away.
Brian's. I'll say this in Brian's defense.
Here we go.
Most people have a. There's okay. So there's a lot of people. They can use something for other things, and they go, "I'm going to be late, or I'm going to not be there, or I can't do this because if you have a thing like cancer, especially, then that's kind of a umbrella that'll cover a lot.
Pass.
Nobody catches on.
I should exploit that more.
Yeah, and you can play that card. You know, I'm not feeling up to it. If you don't feel like, if you don't want to go to anything or be on time or pick up the bill or do anything, you can just
I hate all those things.
I got this thing, you know. And Brian never plays the cancer card.
That's true. I hope you guys realize I came uncomfortably close to death last year. I was 130 pounds and not doing well.
You had a stroke.
I showed up for every show.
Yeah,
I was at home half the time. But
listen, I know a lot of people that get their teeth cleaned at 10 a.m. and they can't make a 2 o'clock show. You know what I mean? Like, they're just, hey man, I'm not feeling it. Right. You know, they play that card. So you do not.
Can I say this about Norm Macdonald, about me at all? But I think about it. I'm thinking about it a lot because, obviously my situation and blah, blah, blah. And everyone has their own, everyone is entitled to their own choices and their own path and their own whatever. You do you, man. But don't suffer in silence, everyone. If you have something like this that's affecting you, there's people out there that want to help.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
I think about Rob Schneider, who probably would have liked to have known that his friend was
Absolutely.
sick.
And,
no, I agree.
And there are people that reach out to us all the time, publicly and privately. And we talked about this before, and people said, did you really mean it when you said I could DM you? Absolutely. We're here.
Don't DM me.
Okay, don't DM Brian because he doesn't read those. But we are here. We do love you, and we appreciate you letting us into your lives.
And by the way, whenever somebody dies, I always think, man, my dad outlived that person. My dad turned 90 today.
Jesus
Wow,
Christ.
that's not much of an achievement day.
Norm Macdonald.
Jesus.
That guy sounds hot.
Yeah, sad.
Happy birthday, Jim.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
What do you got?